my name is Louise and welcome to Adventures with Yarn. This is my mostly knitting and crochet podcast, also a lot of cross stitch, embroidery, any kind of sort of crafting I find myself getting into. That's what I'm here to talk about today. I try to do this each Monday. This is a podcast for entertainment purposes. For those who are also obsessed with the crafting sort of thing and just can't get enough and they want to come talk about it some more. I know, I don't mind. The more the better. Alright, so anyways, my name is Louise. Welcome, thank you for joining me. Welcome to my podcast. If you are a new viewer, extra special thanks for coming to check me out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. If you guys like what you see, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already a subscriber, feel free to subscribe and then you can see what sorts of crafts I get myself into each week. Alright, so I hope you guys are doing well. It is the end of April and almost May. So I have something that I want to talk about. Well, there's quite a few things I'm going to talk about on this podcast. So we are going to show the projects that I'm working on. I have 2 works in progress to show you. I have some mail to show you that somebody sent me. And that was kind of like in regards to some personal health issues I'm having, so I'll give you a little bit of an update on that. I have, let's see what else, there's quite a few things. I want to talk to you about the sock knit along that I'm going to do later in the month of May. So we're going to talk more about that. I'm going to show you yarn that I have for the pair of socks I'm going to make in the sock knit along. So we're going to talk about that. And then something that recently came to my attention is called Stitch Maynia. And I'm going to talk about that, what it is, how I'm going to do it, and show you a ton of cross-stitching kits that I have kind of queued up for that. Alright, so we got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. So let's talk about Stitch Maynia first. So I heard this mentioned on the Birch and Lily podcast, and I had never heard of it before. But I am kind of relatively new to the online crafting community. I've cross-stitched for a very long time. I've actually cross-stitched longer than I've knit and crocheted, and that's saying something. But I had never heard of this Stitch Maynia. And so I did a little bit of research. It sounds like it's a little bit different. People do it a little bit differently, different ways, but it is during the month of May, hence the Maynia. It sounds like it is a time for new starts, like starting all these different kits, these cross-stitch kits. Or cross-stitch projects, and I kind of like the tie-in with it being Mania, but also like May, you know, April showers bring May flowers. It kind of makes me think of like new starts, like new sprouts, like the plants are sprouting, and you know, you have all these little new beginnings. I think, from what I understand, that this is an opportunity to, one, get to start projects, which is always fun, but to also be like truly enjoying the craft that you're doing. So enjoying starting it without worrying too much about when you're gonna finish it. Hence, like, you might start lots of different projects during that month. So it sounds like, besides being a great opportunity to enjoy and have fun starting cross-stitch patterns, it sounds like what some people do is that they have a new start for every day of May. That would be 31 projects to start because there are 31 days in May. I've seen a couple different variations too. I've seen some people have like a certain number of starts. So this being 2019, like maybe some people have like 19 starts. Or some people kind of like plan out their month and say, well, I'm going to have, you know, 5 starts and one for these days and one for these days or that week, different starts and things like that. I've seen people use decision wheels, so like an app to like spin a wheel to choose what to work on. And so I am going to do kind of my own kind of individual plan for this Stitch Mania. I have a lot of cross stitch kits, like a lot. And so I'm going to show you what I have. My plan that I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of my kits in a decision wheel, and for the month of May, I'm not going to push myself to stitch every single day because I do have some other plans for the month of May as far with knitting. So, but what I'm going to do is each day that I am going to be crafting, I'm going to spin the wheel on the app and choose that cross stitch kit to work on, and most likely it'll be a new start, but I do have a couple works in progress of the cross stitching that I might just like work on that one for that day. I think this is going to be really fun. I'm really excited, and so I'm going to kind of quickly ish kind of just show you the kits that I have. So I have several of these big old kits. Oh my god, quite the glare there. From, I believe, Dimensions. Yeah, Dimensions. I find these in Hobby Lobby and craft stores. I have this one here with, just see if there's a title, Tulip Trio. We have the Tulip Trio. We have the Kitty Litter, which I thought was just adorable. I'm trying not to get that glare for you guys, I'm sorry. But, if I can, sorry, these lights. See all those little kittens and balls of yarn and stuff. I always thought this would be really fun to have like in a craft room. Someday when I have a house to have a whole craft room. Right now I have more of a yarn closet. But also, and this one I previously showed you, I would always really love to just have for myself or potentially for a little girl. Like, I love pink, if you didn't know that already. We have this one here. I should have looked up all the titles before I started this. This one's called Pretty Stitchery from Sea to Shining Sea. And it is the United States. There you go. The United States with each different state kind of like in a little different pattern there with some polka dot stuff going on. So we have those. We have this. Also, those are, I believe those are all from, no, the Sea to Shining Sea is from Artiste, is what it looks like it is. This is another Dimensions kit. Love You to the Moon and Back. Something just really fun to have for a baby of myself, or any nieces or nephews that come along. Potentially baby shower, gifts, just something really cute, and I got it on sale. And so we have that. Then I have, of course I have the Roses on White chair that I have been working on. So there's a picture of the finished stitch, cross stitch. There's a picture of what it will be when it's finished. And while I'm showing that, so the progress I already have on it so far. Just kind of some flowers, starting in the middle, doing that. Okay, then I have a lot of these little kits. So this is the only kit that is a stamped cross stitch, or at least has a stamped background. I really prefer counted cross stitch. It gives me a lot more satisfaction. I feel like it's a little more challenging, but this one does have, you can see the Aida is stamped in the background. That will be stamped back here, but I really like this one. Be a flamingo in a flock of pigeons, and of course the flamingo is pink. So I really like that. Just never got around to starting it, making it. So I'll have that added into this Stitch Mania. Okay, next we have, also from Dimensions, a flower mason jar. I think this is something I saw at Walmart and I just could not pass it up. I said, yeah, that needs to come home with me for me to make sometime. I don't know when, but maybe now. So there's that. I really like that. I think that's cute. I really hope I get to start this. I mean, all of them are awesome. I can't go wrong. I won't go wrong. Okay, this next one is also our Stitch Mini. And let's see what this is called. I don't see a title on this. But I'm just gonna call this Wild at Heart. If you can see, there's this little teepee here, and it says in the lettering Wild at Heart. Sorry about this glare. But, so another little something fun. Just a little kit. And what's awesome is these are all kits. They come with what I need. All that I need. Right there. Okay, and then we have another baby themed project. Our little peanut. Or little peanut. This, if I do start this, I will have to choose, like, am I going to make this boy themed or girl themed, blue or pink, which one am I going to do? I'll have to decide. But I could always start at the little elephant there. But really cute, cross stitch to put like a little picture in that frame there. I believe I also got this on sale at Hobby Lobby, and it is Dimensions brand. So we have that. We have this other Artiste mini counted cross stitch called Happy Camper. And I do believe it does say with Jesus, I'm a happy camper. But again, like the colors and the little trailer, could not pass that up as well. So we've got that there. And the last little kit that I have is also Dimensions again. I'm just gonna call this one Stuck on You. How cute is that? How freaking cute is that? A little cactus that's stuck on you, and actually comes with yarn to make a pom-pom right there. So you have kind of like this textural goodiness, awesomeness to go with that little cactus. So that's fun. I do have some other things that are not quite in kits. I have a work in progress here. I have this cross stitch here. It is on some linen. It must have, this one came in a kit, but I got rid of the Aida fabric, and I don't know what I did with the actual like picture of the finished product, but I have this here, and I have my paper, you know, pattern here. Basically what this is going to be is some flowers on top of a stack of books, and on the books there's like words, and it ends up saying, when you look in someone's eyes, no, okay, it says love is. So like this will be saying love is, and the next books will say, so we'll say love is, and then when you look into someone's eyes and see everything you need. I thought that was really, really cool, and so I got that to make for myself, just to kind of have in the home, but kind of just trailed away from making that. You know what? No, I think I recall. I think that I was making this until I found out my sister was pregnant, and then I started up on that Mama Elephant and Baby Elephant cross stitch that you can see. I think that's like in episode 5 or 6 of this podcast. I'd really encourage you to check it out. Yeah, because I think it's the Christmas knitting episode, I think. I want to say episode 5. That's actually like one of my favorite episodes that I've made. Okay, so, and then I have more. There's more. I think I tallied about 16 patterns or kits, but I think that I could get a couple more out of some of the little books that I have to make a total of 19. So for 2019, why not have 19 different projects to potentially work on? All right, so this is another project that I trailed off on making. It says, first we had each other, then we had you. Now we have everything. And so far I have the daddy elephant, and on the other side will be the mommy elephant, and then a little baby, I must have chosen to make this in boy themed, blue themed, because I think otherwise these colors would be switched. I definitely recall picking this up, having it as a cool like road trip project to make in the car. But like I said, trailed off, so I will have this as part of the Stitch Mania that I could potentially be working on again. You may have recalled in some previous episodes that I made this little plushine cat cross stitch. So I have in that little kit that I got of the plushine, I have a couple other patterns. So I'm going to be adding that. Let's see here, I'll probably, that one that I made actually is just missing a little heart to go on top of his little plushine head. But then there's another pattern of him holding a little donut there. So that could count as 2 projects. I think that if I finished up this one, it might be a little bit cheating, but I'm gonna count it so that I can make like a total of 19 and get this little heart up there, and then, you know, do whatever else I want to do with that kit. I'm gonna frame it or something. Could work on that. Okay, I have a little project back here that's also holding a couple more cross stitch patterns. How fun is this? Glitter is my favorite color. I got this bag from Charming Charlie's, which if you've never been there and you like girly stuff, you should check it out. I think this is like meant to be a makeup bag, but you know what? It works. It works beautifully. So in here, I have something that was given to me for Christmas a couple Christmases ago, and I just haven't got around to actually using it. But I have some Star Wars cross stitch, and I have 2 little I was gonna say packets. I have 2 squares of Aida, so I could make 2 things out of this Star Wars little book, which I think I could stretch that also into 3 potential projects to start from here. I would just have to kind of like get my hands on some more fabric for the background. But I think that stretching the plushine and stretching this, I think that that could bring our grand total to 19 potential cross stitch starts, or working on them from the work in progress that's already been made. Now I also really like the funness of, you know, this randomly choosing, leaving it up to chance, you know, just that kind of spontaneity and randomness. So I am going to put all of those patterns into a decision wheel and just spin the wheel each time and work on that one. So there may not be 19 starts, there probably won't be, but maybe I'll start something else, work on a work in progress, go back to another, you know, more progress on one of the new starts, blah. It is the mania that is going to be Stitch Mania 2019. If you guys are interested, if this is the first time you've heard about this, it's something you want to try, if this is something you've done before, let me know. I would love to see what you're working on. I'd love to hear how this worked out for you in the past. Just hit me up, let me know. So how fun is that, you guys? Okay, so how about what I've been working on? I have here a new project bag that I haven't gotten around to showing you guys. Oh, I think I'm skipping ahead of myself here. I am skipping ahead of myself. Oh well, we'll just get all this fun stuff out of the way first. Okay, so this is a new project bag that I haven't gotten around to showing you guys. This is by Poodle Knits. You can find her on Etsy. So how cute is this, you guys? Look at these little gnomes and lawn flamingos. This pattern down here, we have a, you know, wrist holder there, so if you needed to knit while you were standing, you could have the yarn in here. So this is a special bag because, oh, and the inside there, don't get too ahead of me. The inside there just kind of woodsy, greeny in there. So, yeah, this is special because this is holding the yarn that I'm going to use for the sock knit along. Okay, so maybe you know where this is going if you've seen my previous episodes. I've got this yarn here, I've got this yarn here. This yarn is from Madeline Tosh. It is in the Euro sock base and the color is called Mac and Cheese. This is also Madeline Tosh. This is the Nassau Blue. And when I saw this and I still had leftovers, I mean, it's not leftovers anymore. I had some, what did I have? I had a mini skein of this Nassau Blue, but it didn't quite stretch. It didn't quite last all the heels and toes, both the heels and toes that I was using it for, so I ended up buying like a whole nother ball skein of it, and so now I have a whole skein of the Nassau Blue. When I saw the mac and cheese colored yarn, I thought how fun would that be to make macaroni and cheese colored socks with this blue for the heels and the toes, to look like macaroni and cheese, like kind of like the blue from like the Kraft macaroni and cheese. And these would be my macaroni and cheese socks. And I had two viewers comment, you should do a macaroni and cheese sock knit along. So I've spent some time thinking about this, and this is going to happen, okay? So I really want to encourage you. I think mostly, not besides just knitting socks and having fun, I really want to encourage those of you who knit but have never knit socks to give this a try, because I know I was really intimidated by knitting socks for quite a while, and then once I started and once I learned, like, I love it now. I really love it. I want to just like buy all the sock yarn everywhere and just make hand knit socks for like ever. So I really want to encourage you that if this is something that you've thought about, to really take this opportunity. And I mean, this is going to be fun. And if you already know how to knit socks, come join us. There's going to be prizes, and there's going to be awesome prizes. So with this sock knit along, especially, you know, with this being the macaroni and cheese, this is going to be the macaroni and cheese sock knit along. I am going to show you that knitting socks doesn't have to be hard, doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it can be easy. It can be easy peasy mac and cheesy, okay? So, I will be kind of talking about, you know, the process of the knitting of the socks, you know, each little section, and, you know, this is how you do this section, then you go on to this section, that section. So I'll be talking about that a lot throughout the knit along. I have a lot of prizes. I have reached out to several really awesome makers on Etsy that make well, different things, and I am still gathering together the prizes, so I'm not going to show you those yet because still some are expected to arrive. But there are lots of prizes. They are macaroni and cheese themed, but like Poodle Knits is the creator of this bag, and she has so graciously donated 2 other bags that are going to be used as part of the grand prizes. We're going to have a couple grand prizes. We're going to have some raffles week to week. We're going to have a way to win prizes on Instagram, to win prizes on the Ravelry page. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is going to be so much fun. This is going to start on May 25th. So on May 25th, we're going to cast on, and we're going to, you know, comment and show pictures of all our socks, and week by week I'll be, you know, giving out prizes. It's going to finish on July 26th because July 26th is America's National Macaroni and Cheese Day. Who'd have thunk? But it is. So that's what is in store for this channel. I really encourage you to start thinking about it, you know, especially, like I said, if you've never knit a pair of socks, this is the greatest time to start. because you're going to be doing it at the same time as a lot of other people that are going to be joining us, and lots of prizes in store also. So keep watching. I will give more information later as the start date approaches. I'll put up some information on the Ravelry page, which is the group on Ravelry called Adventures with Yarn. And you can also watch my Instagram too, at Adventures with Yarn. So, whoo, my gosh, I'm really, really excited. Oh, and by the way, you don't have to knit socks that look like macaroni and cheese. I did notice that Madeline Tosh, like last month, they like kind of stopped stocking this color, but there are other people who make similar colors. So if you want yours to look, you know, cheesy and join in the theme of the fun, that you're more than welcome to. I highly encourage it. But also, if you just want, I mean, any kind, I would definitely encourage you that if you have the means and you want to purchase some hand-dyed sock yarn on Etsy, wow, there are some incredibly talented dyers out there. I know that I, in particular, am a huge fan of Biffsugar yarn. Sometimes it takes a little bit for the shipping to come to the United States from England, but you have Lolo Did It, it's beautiful sock yarn. If you can snag some by Amy Florence of the Stranded Dye Works, again, that's in England too. What else? I mean, if you just go on Etsy and, you know, hand-dyed sock yarn, wow, there is all kinds of stuff. So pick out your sock yarn, start getting ready. We're gonna start revving up towards that May 25th. A couple weeks from now we will be starting. So, and I'll let you know more as that start date approaches. Okay, so we kind of skipped around in our agenda. I will show you the socks I'm working on right now. And I did show you these last week. So, hence with the sock obsession that I mentioned, I have joined the Handmade Sock Society, which is a sock subscription club in which a pattern gets released every other month. It is about a little more than 20 American dollars to join, and you get these beautiful, beautiful sock patterns, and that come with like some written out dialogue. I think a dialogue is when people talk to each other. Some written, there's like some beautiful writing to kind of put you in the mood of the theme of the sock knit along, which is the theme of the Cornish Coast. And Helen, Stewart of Curious Handmade, who puts these out, she writes so beautifully. You really feel like you were on this coastal vacation retreat with your knitting, which, oh, sounds like heaven. And, you know, she really just describes, so like the first pattern was a shell cottage. She talks about the shell cottage, and this next one, you know, she kind of talks about, oh, you know, you find a bike in the back of the cottage and think that you'll go and take a ride into the little town and see what you find, and hence come across in a grocery, like a little marketplace, something called Samphire, which is part of the basis of the second pattern, and that's what I'm working on right now. So apparently Samphire is kind of like a seaweed type thing. This is my progress so far on the Samphire socks, and I think I would venture to guess that this lacy pattern here, the way it kind of darts around, would be the inspiration for the Samphire plant. But you can see here, if you can see, there these kind of zigs and zags with the lacy holes and bits. This is on what I would consider a luxury sock yarn for sure. This is by Biffsugar yarn. It is Merino Cashmere Nylon, and this is the colorway called Selkie. So far, I have the cuff of the sock here. I have the leg. I have made the heel. the heel flap, the heel turn, and I'm now working on the gusset. And if those words sound daunting to you, do not let that prohibit you from joining in this sock knit along, because we will explain, I will explain, and I will show you, and we'll walk you through this. You can knit a sock. If you can knit, you can knit a sock. And I'm gonna help you do that. But anyways, so that is the progress I have so far. I didn't get a whole lot of knitting done this week, but I did get a lot of other productive stuff done around the house. Some cleaning, organizing, and potential hopes and plans to move into a bigger place at some point. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick the camera there. But there was not an earthquake. If you saw that little blah, 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 just kind of bumped it. Anyways, so that is the progress I have so far. I have this really adorable little stitch marker by the Clever Clove, which is a little cat. See if I can show this. This little cat knitting a hat. That might be the best I can do, I'm sorry. Anyways, this is a really, really fun project to work on. Like, I find myself missing this project. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but like I find myself being like, I just want to get back to those socks because the yarn is so nice to work with. The pattern is so pretty. It's a fairly easy, nice repeating-ish pattern. Like there's kind of like a rhythm to it that you can kind of get used to, and I'm just really enjoying working on these. Now, some of you guys, last week when I said I was going to show a project I was working on that I hadn't shown in a while, some of you guys went ahead and commented and asked me, you said, you know, is it the lobster? Is it the lobster come back? Okay, so I did work a little bit more on the lobster that I was making. So the lobster is from this book called Crochet Sea Creatures by Vanessa Munchi. This is some really fun, what we call amigurumi, which is the crocheted stuffed animals. The lobster is, I'll show you a picture of the finished, what it's kind of supposed to look like. If I can find that, a good picture of him. So the lobster here, that's what it's supposed to look like. This is kind of what I've got so far. I've got this torpedo looking thing, but I do have the tail just about finished. I still need to put some stuffing in the end of the tail and then sew that up there, and then I'll have this body of the lobster finished. And I did go ahead and start on a lobster claw. So I know this doesn't look like it at all, but apparently it had me kind of start in the middle here and go out a few rounds and then split the rounds. So this is going to be like the lobster claw, and this is kind of like the little elbow joint, and then I'll be crocheting some more rounds here, which will then attach to the body, so in that way the claws kind of come out and then bent out from the body. I have a adorable stitch marker here that is a little chocolate chip cookie from the Pitter Patter Polymer Etsy shop, which I absolutely adore. You should check out her shop. So many cute little things, especially the cute little miniature food items. I just think they're so adorable. So I did work a little bit on the lobster. Maybe someday I'll finish it. It is fun. I definitely like taking a break from the knitting to do a crochet project, but right now I'm just so into socks. I just want to make socks and use that luxury sock yarn to do that. So those are the two things that I'm working on. I will be starting a new pattern pretty soon. I'm super excited to say that for the first time ever, I've been chosen to test knit. I've heard about this thing, I've seen other people, you know, kind of do it, but basically pattern designers that, you know, are looking to make their patterns to sell, they find people to do test knits for them so they can kind of, you know, work out any kinks or bugs that they might have in their patterns. And I've always thought that'd be like really cool to do, and so I applied for a test knit from the design maker Birch and Lily, which, by the way, she has a YouTube podcast herself that I've gotten into lately. I'd really encourage you to check it out. But she makes designs too. She makes patterns and designs patterns also. And so I was chosen to make a test knit for a shawl that she's making. And this is the yarn that I want to use for it. So I haven't cast on yet, but I have this yarn that I got for Christmas. And I think, like, in this case, especially because I was like obsessed with Biffsugar yarn, I told my husband to get me, you know, some sock yarn. And but this is more so, it is fingering weight like sock yarn, but it's single ply. And as I understand, this is maybe not the best to use to make socks, but for shawls. So I thought, how fun will that be? I will use one of these. I have two of them, but I will use one. And I also, now this colorway is actually, I thought it was called Nampara. And so when I signed up for the test knit, I was like, oh, I'll be making it with Nampara. But actually it's called Nebula. So this is called Nebula. And then I ordered a skein called Paper Roses, and I really hope it gets here in time, because I need to have this test knit finished by a certain date. That's kind of how test knits work, so that the pattern will be released. You know, and that you have all the test knitters that have done it on time and have given their input about it. But if that yarn, so I ordered another skein of yarn called Paper Roses from Biffsugar Yarns, and it's kind of like this really pretty, like a dusty pink that I thought would look really pretty with this. I suppose that if it doesn't come on time, I could use this other pink that I have here. So this is the Nugget sock yarn. And I'm kind of on the fence. I'm kind of unsure, because the shawl calls for a single ply and a sock yarn base. And this is pink. It's not exactly the pink that I had in mind. It's a bit lighter with more white rather than like the creamy, what's the word I'm looking for? Like creamy mauve, of the Paper Roses, kind of that dusty creamish color. I'm sure that it will come to me at some point. There's a word of a color I'm thinking of that I can't come to my mind right now. Anyways, taupe, that's the word, taupe. That is the word I was thinking of, which I think is like a creamy, like a, you know, like a white-ish. Anyways, I really thought that was really what I had in mind. Potentially, maybe I'll do this. It's kind of, the shawl is kind of like striped in some areas with some larger chunks of yarn in the other areas of the one color, but that is on the horizon. And so I just wanted to show you that kind of stuff, what I have planned in mind. Okay, well, the last thing that I wanted to show you is something that I got in the mail from my friend Kim. So you guys, if you've watched this podcast, you have probably heard me talk about some personal things that I'm going through. Basically, I have been trying to get pregnant for several years, have had issues, and lately they actually did some imaging of my liver. It was unrelated to, you know, fertility or anything, but this ultrasound found a really large cyst on my ovary, and I made a yarn ball the size of the cyst. I can grab this out from beside me. It's pretty big. Supposedly, now this yarn ball is considering that the cyst is a perfect sphere. I don't know for sure that it is. It just is 18 centimeters in diameter max. So, and this yarn ball is, I measured it the circumference of a sphere with about 18 centimeter diameter across. So I'm not entirely sure if it's this big. That just doesn't seem quite real, but I mean, who knows. Anyways, whatever is inside there is getting taken out. It is getting taken out surgically next Monday. So my plan is to film next week's podcast the day before and have that going so that it will be released Monday morning. But also in light of that, my dear, sweet friend Kim sent me some things in the mail. Totally surprised me. So sweet. So she had mentioned that her and her partner, now I'm so worried that I'm not going to say her name right. I think I say her name Helen. I wanted to say Helen. Anyways, Kim and Helen sent me a package of some presents, and oh my gosh, you guys. So they made me this hat. How cute is this? Who even, like, I didn't even know that you could get yarn to pool this way. So I do believe that this is a prime example of color pooling, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I mean, look at that coral, and they made a pom-pom at the top. Oh man, she told me the color of this yarn. I forgot to double check. I want to say delightful, but I might be wrong. Some red heart yarn, and I just love how that turned out striped like that. I mean, I'll have to look up, like, how does this yarn even look like before it gets all done up so that it just striped like so perfectly. So I'll put that on there. So that's that. How cute is that, you guys? This just really blesses my heart that they were thinking of me and sent me this. So she gave me that. And then I saw in the package that there was some jewelry. And the jewelry had like these gems on it. So here, look at this necklace that is a key. And if you can see that, like these swirls in here. And I thought, how beautiful. Those swirls look like the artwork that I've seen Kim make. And guess what? It turns out it is. Like, she did. She made that. And I've always told her, and Kim, if you're listening, I still hold to it, that you really should make a YouTube of yourself making these, because it is like mesmerizing. It's really like satisfying to watch. And I feel like Kim has like a very soothing voice too. So like her videos that I've seen on Facebook explaining what she's doing while she's making it, it's really awesome. Excuse me. So I have that one. She gave me several. Look at these. Look at these. I guess I should have opened them. But I have this necklace. They're lovely, pretty swirls. Some pink and purple in that one. We have this here. Oh, this is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oops. These are all on necklaces too. Look at that. I hope it's showing up. It's like this light pink, of course. Kind of like a mauve-y, purpley pink on that one. Swirled all around there. We've got, oh my gosh, I mean they straight up look like gemstones. This one's a keychain. I mean, doesn't that just like, it's so pretty. Some reddish kind of pink. Oh my gosh. So pretty. And then this one is absolutely adorable. This is also a keychain with this little elephant here. And look, the elephant says love. Oh, darn lighting, the lighting. The elephant says love on it, and it has more pink swirls on it. Isn't that awesome? I just love it. Kim and Ellen. I'm so sorry. You know what? People butcher my name so much too, and so I really feel bad butchering hers. But Kim and Ellen, thank you so much. I really love it. Now this is the best. So Kim, as you can see, she makes those swirly paints, like those little gem looking jewelry that I just showed you. But she also paints rocks. And so check this out. Knit happens. Oh my gosh. And this sock knitting, this fox knitting a scarf. How cute is that? I'm gonna put this with my plants. I know there's like something on the back here. It says keep or rehide, post on Facebook, the hitchhiking rock. But I know it's probably pretty selfish of me. I'm gonna hide this in my own garden. I want to keep this. Maybe that's, you know, pretty kind of selfish, but I want to keep this. I think this is so stinking cute. All right, you guys, so lots and lots of fun things on the horizon. Plans, test knit, sock knit along, Stitch Mania. I'm going to be doing this in the midst of recovering from surgery. May 25th, mark your calendars. That is when our sock knit along is going to start. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to comment down below if you like what you see. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Okay, there's so much to do, so many crafts to enjoy, and okay, I hope you guys are well. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!